Howdy, with this video, I want to go over the schedule real quickly and then go over the song analysis, make sure you understand what I'm looking for there. For the schedule for Halloween on Monday, Journal 7 and 8 are due, getting you ready for the song analysis there. Then your topic for the essay will be due on Thursday. Then kind of the process we've been following all semester. Then next Monday, the first two paragraphs are due. I'll make sure you're on the right track. Then the draft so far will be due on the 10th. Then the full draft due on the 14th. By then I should have your career essay graded and back to you. You're going to revise that and put that in the D2LE portfolio. Then once you get the feedback from the song analysis, hopefully it'll be due on Thursday the 17th. Then all late work will be due on the 21st. Y'all have done a good job of keeping up, so there's not much of that. But we're going to try to get this essay done before Thanksgiving. You can see we have a couple of, kind of maybe extra days, just to make sure we got a good cushion there. The final exams is just journals 9 and 10, and that'll be pretty much the end of the course. You'll be waiting on me to post your grades. We're not going to do a final exam during final exam week or anything like that. You should be focusing on your certificate courses that you need to get towards your career, right? But by then we've written four major writing assignments, graded assignments, and hopefully your writing's improved and you're ready for Comp 1 should you choose to go there. And by the way, if you're 18, 19, or early 20s, the odds of you changing the career are pretty high. That's just the way the job market's going to start going. So you may end up coming back to Northeast State for retraining, and it'd be nice if you just go ahead and start college level courses instead of having to do another a developmental course. So we'll see. Let's see what your future holds there. The song analysis assignment. So hopefully it's pretty doable. Song analysis assignment. That's not easy to say. Is up there on the content page under essay assignments. You'll see the sample essay as well. But we'll look at the assignment. Go ahead and download that. Alrighty. For this one, you're going to write an 800-word minimum examination of why you like one song from one particular performance, album or video. And this sounds easy. You're like, I listen to music all the time. All right. But you got to find a song that actually means something to you for this essay, not one you just like or it's the coolest song ever. Well, it's hard to get 800 words out of the coolest song ever, right? So you might have to go through a few songs. This is why I'm kind of giving you a little extra time on the topic. And I love I've been raised on AC/DC my whole life, pretty much. Back in Black came out when I was a junior in high school, sophomore in high school. I can't remember. Just at the perfect time, to wipe out disco. But and I love the songs, but I can't tell you what a single lyric in the song is because it's Brian Johnson just going thunder, right? So I'd probably it's a song that actually means something to me, so I got to think if I was going to use an ACD song like Thunderstruck or something, could I really talk about memories I have with the song, experience if I had? Does it remind me of particular people or a particular place? Kind of does. Kind of reminds me of when I was younger. I'm 58 years old now, so I can think of my misspent youth or whatever. But you want to try and find a song that reminds you of somebody. Maybe the song that was playing the first time you went to the beach, or a song that reminds you of your grandmother. One song I might consider might be that stupid Crazy Frog. Ding, 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 ding. Because my kids were little, I have 5 kids, and they'd all just, be in the living room beating each other up and screaming at each other. If I played Crazy Frog, they'd stop and they'd just start hopping around like a frog. So it's kind of a neat memory I have. But I'd have to kind of think about that song a little bit more. There's no lyrics, and I hate the song, so I don't know if I can get an essay out of it. But you want to kind of start thinking about songs that actually mean something to you. Is what I'm getting at there. And there's some questions there. So don't try and impress anybody with the song. I'm 58 years old. The odds are I probably haven't heard your song if it was made in the last 10 years. The last album I bought was Ice Cube's War album. So that's how far back in the time machine we're going there. So you want to find a song that means something to you in 3 ways. I'm going to have a basic 5-part essay. The first paragraph, kind of like we've been working with, you're going to introduce the song. What genre is it? You want to summarize the song in just 2 or 3 sentences, but this is the only time you're going to summarize the song. because you're telling us why the song means something to you, not what happens in the song. So be careful there. You should not be doing more than this 2 or 3 sentence summary. Then you want to give us a specific album performance, video. And it's fair to say I love the song because of the video. I remember when the Scorpions' "Rock You Like a Hurricane" video came out. I sit there and wait for it to come on MTV, right? You don't know. You can just play it on YouTube now. But back in the day, we had to wait for MTV to show the video. That's part of the excitement. I was like, you hear those opening lines, dan dan dan, and you're like, all right, it's on. So you want one song from one performance. If you saw somebody live and you were like, whoa, okay, then then you can start writing about that. But be sure you're specific. Some songs sound much different. Uptown Funk is much different in the studio version than it is in the version with at the Super Bowl performance a few years ago. After that, you should provide some brief biographical information about the group performer using a reliable secondary source. Most bands have their own websites. You can probably get away with Wikipedia on this one as long as you read through it and say, okay, this is fairly authoritative. Whoever wrote this knew what they were doing. And this should be no more than 50 to 75 words. Keep it short. The point of the essay is not to give us biographical information. It's to tell us 3 reasons the song means something to you. So keep it fairly short. You're going to have that source on a works citus page. Excuse me. And then the final sentence in that first paragraph should be your 3-point thesis. That gives a clear assertion and your 3 main reasons the song means something to you. This paragraph is probably going to be more than 150 words, but it shouldn't really dominate the essay. So it's kind of an exercise in giving information fairly concisely and just giving the information needed to further your essay along. In the body of the essay, you're going to spend a paragraph on each one of your thesis points. So you got to come up with 3 really good reasons the song means something to you, or why the song appeals to you, or whatever. So again, thinking about that topic, it takes a little bit of time to make sure you get the right song for you. A good example of I had a really good essay on the Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini song, and our argument was not that this is the greatest song ever, but it reminded her of her grandmother, who was her legal guardian. She was going through a rough time and ended up at her grandmother's house. And they played the song, and it reminds her of her grandmother. It reminded her of the time her grandmother actually found her an Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini, and just what it meant for somebody to actually go to the trouble to do that for her was her second paragraph. I can't remember what the third one is. But she never argued this was the greatest song ever. It just this silly song actually means a lot to me because of these interactions with my grandmother and having somebody actually care enough about me to get me something like that. So it's a really good essay. So kind of think along those lines. But you're going to spend a paragraph on each one of your points. Do not summarize the song in your essay. You've already done that in the first paragraph, right? You should be discussing why you like the song, not what happens in the song. You need to quote at least 3 times from the lyrics. So make sure you're doing that in your body paragraphs. And again, just like we've been practicing, a good precise topic sentence, good examples and details to develop the paragraphs, good concluding sentences in each paragraph. Each of these should be at least 150 words. And you're going to spend a paragraph on each one of your main reasons. Then the conclusion, you want to do more than summarize your essay. What's the overall point? Are you going to play the song at your wedding, or did you play your song at the wedding? Some of you are already married. Is this something you're going to pass on to your kids? Do you want to play this at your funeral? Does does music have something about it that just unites all people? Music's a fairly universal thing in all cultures. Why? Why do we listen to Uptown Funk? I mean, and kind of go, what is it about music that brings us together? But it should be at least 100 words in that last paragraph. So very formulaic essay. Basic 5-part essay, a little more complicated topic. It's not as easy as it first sounds, but obviously it's doable. You should be able to talk about music you care about. And it doesn't have to be pop music. You could use a hymn or whatever song appeals to you, right? Then you're going to have your works citus page. Probably only 2 sources. You should have your song lyric source. You're going to quote from the lyrics, and you should have that source with the biographical information on there. So maybe just have 2 sources. I want to see you give the works cited entries a try. I'm going to show you a sample essay here in a second. And you have your entries from the career essay. give it a shot. I'm still gonna help you. But hopefully we kind of did our research essay with the career essay a little bit. Now we're kind of just practicing using quotes for support, and using sources accurately and fairly. But in the essay, you should have 5 uses of figurative language, 3 accurate quotes. You're going to use line numbers when citing the quotes. We'll look at that here in a second. We'll look at ellipses and brackets as well. No its or yous. You may pick a song I absolutely hate, but it doesn't matter because you're telling us why the song means something to you, not why it should mean something to me. Alrighty. So hopefully kind of a fun assignment to end on. As fun as a forced writing can be, I guess. The sample essay is up there. It's up there right. I showed you just a second ago. I'm lost. Hold on. Right here. I thought I had already had it pulled up. Yeah, it's up here. This one's based on a slightly different assignment the years. They had to do a little more research. So be careful. Make sure you're doing your assignment, not the sample essay assignment. But pretty similar. She's going to talk about Pretty Girl by, what's her name? Claro, I'm sorry. And she's kind of going to follow your assignment for the most part. She's going to introduce the song, give a little bit of biography there, telling us who Claro is. I had no idea who this was until I read this essay. By the way, when I grade your essays, I play the song as I grade it, so it's kind of fun. But she introduces the song, tells us what it's about, and gives us her thesis there. Where are we at? Pretty Girl resonates with me because of the lyrics telling how Claro felt the need to be perfect for someone else, which I relate to. The music video where Claro shows herself with imperfections, and the overall sound of the song, which is a refreshing and unique indie sound. If you've never heard this song before, maybe go play it real quick. It's kind of neat. It sounds like somebody just doing this in their bedroom, and it's actually kind of a neat song. She's kind of telling this boy to pound sand, to get lost. Then she's going to spend a paragraph on each one of her points. And I'm not going to read this thing to you. But she's going to develop her ideas. Make sure you don't use it, sir. Going to use a quote to support, show us what she's talking about. And notice a couple of things about quotes. With poetry, you start using the line numbers, so you're going to find a copy of the lyrics, which you're going to put into your final version of your essay. And you just want to number those, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way through. And then you're going to cite using the line numbers from your song instead of a page number or something like that. Also, when you go from one line to the next, you want to use the slash to indicate going from one line to the next in poetry. So getting a little more technical with the MLA stuff. I guess we're preparing you for your next poetry class, but make sure you're deciding like that. She's including a little bit of research in here. I think I asked her to do that because she started talking about GarageBand, and I had no clue what that was, and apparently everybody else knows what GarageBand is. So she went ahead and defined what GarageBand was. So she has a little more research in here than you're required to have, so don't feel the need to add more research. Just the biography information and the song lyric is all I'm looking for this assignment. Then she gets to her second point, talking about why certain lyrics mean something to her. And again, she's giving a little more biography than I'm looking for from you. But there she is quoting from the lyrics. For poetry, a long quote is 4 or more lines instead of 5 or more lines. So that if you're looking at that going like, hey, that's not 5 lines. Poetry is just slightly different. But again, I want to see those line numbers so I can go to your lyrics and see exactly where you're getting this from and see if you're quoting accurately. But again, you can read this on your, you can read faster than I can talk. But, every time she quotes from the song, she's given the line number there. Then she's going to talk about the video. Brackets show a change to a quote. Sometimes if you're watching the news or reading something and they quote Biden or Trump or whoever, and you see brackets around something, that means they changed something within that quote. Hopefully just to clarify something. or make a little more grammatical, have a little bit more grammatical sense. Hard to get that sentence out. So whenever you see these brackets, the writer is saying, "Hey, I changed something in the quote." That's the only way you can add or change something to a quote is if you show brackets. You use brackets to show those changes. Does she have ellipses in here somewhere? The ellipses are the 3 dots. I hope she does. There it is. Ellipses are the 3 dots. They show an omission from the quote. If you want to take something out of the middle of a quote because it doesn't need to be there, you can just use the ... and that shows you took something out of the quote. And again, if you watch news and they quote Trump or Biden, sometimes you'll see those 3 dots, and that means they've taken something out of the quote. It's very important. If you do that, you can't change the meaning of the quote, right? A few news sources have gotten in trouble for changing the meanings of quotes that way. But a good paragraph on the music video. Again, she does a little more extra research than I want you to do. She was working with a different assignment. But it's also a very good sample essay using that 5-paragraph format. Then we have the conclusion. And kind of saying here, she does a pretty good job of avoiding repetition and conclusion. What you're supposed to take away from her appreciation of Pretty Girl. Then we have the works status page. Be sure to use this as an example for yours. Excuse me. And there's what a YouTube video looks like right there, if you're getting it off of YouTube. But quite a few different sources there, so you can kind of see how that works. But generally you want the author, the smaller unit, generally the web page. It won't let me, I clicked on it this one. Hold on. Guess I hit the back button. It's like she made the whole thing's hyperlink. There we go. Then you want the smaller unit like the web page or the article title. Then the larger unit, generally the website, and then whatever information after that. Then you're going to cite using the first word on your works status page, which you can see her doing in the essay. So nice sample essay. It's actually a very interesting song. I never heard it before. It's like, but hopefully that helps see what we're looking for. I'm trying to find... It's opening up in different things. So if you have questions about it, but again, the trick is finding the right song, not the coolest song or the most awesomest song ever, but the song that means something to you that you can get three good body paragraphs with. And again, don't be surprised if you pick one song and kind of get started on the essay and they're like, this ain't working. I'd have to go back and find a different song. But generally when you do that, you kind of, okay, now I know what I'm looking for. You can go find the song you want to do the essay on. But if you have any questions about it, be sure to let me know. And especially during these last few weeks of the course. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.